Thank you, everybody. I do music shows outside of work, and the one way that we like to get everybody's attention is if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you hear my voice, clap twice. If you hear my voice, clap 3 times. Thank you for your participation. Cool. Anyways, what I'm going to start off today is tell you a little bit about what I do at my job at Algolia, which is a hosted search and discovery platform, but really focus today on building an omni-channel search experience to delight your users. The idea is taking the insights from the thousands of customers that Algolia has and the solutions partners that we work with, and trying to formulate together a idea about where search and discovery is headed and the thought leadership there with respect to innovation. If you'd love to learn more about Algolia specifically, please come up to myself or my colleagues, Mara and Gabe, after the show, and we can tell you more about it. So first off, the title of the presentation was Build an Omnichannel Search Experience to Delight Your Users. Let's first define what omnichannel means. So omnichannel can be defined in a couple of different ways, but this is one description that I'm using today to bring in the context of how that works with search and discovery. So if I read it off the page, it's really hard in presenter view. Omnichannel weaves together multi-channels, stores data between them, and enable customers to conduct business with companies however they want and whenever they want to deliver a singular and unified user experience. I'd like to highlight the end there, that multi-channel is having a variety of different devices in your customer experience. If that's mobile, if that's web, if that's using voice search through an Amazon or Google Home type device. But the ability to say, if my user interacts with this device, and we can take that information and then personalize the content in the next experience that they come to, if that's from the voice experience app and then come into your website, that's when you start to really create a unified search experience so that they feel that they're always interacting with your brand at a consistent rate. So let's examine why building a multi-channel discovery experience distinguishes your storefront in a competitive e-commerce landscape. In an e-commerce competition, there are 2 verticals in which we compete: price and experience. When Amazon dominates in price, merchants are left with one way to drive user engagement. That's experience. Let's discover how to deliver a versatile yet easy to implement search and discovery experience to delight users. Who's ready to come with me? Thank you. So here is really to begin the idea of what the competitive landscape looks like. We have folks like Amazon Prime Now, we have Netflix that knows exactly what you want to watch, and you have Google Home talking to you and potentially listening to you all the time. They deliver consumer-grade search, is what we like to call it at Algolia. Search experiences that are fast, relevant, and always know exactly what you want. Now, how do you compete with that as a merchant who wants to deliver the same exact user experience? The idea is that the competition and consumer expectations are rising. Consumers today want frictionless Google and Amazon-like experiences when looking for information, media content, and products. They demand intuitive experiences that deliver exactly what they're looking for, regardless of the digital interface, being multi and omni-channel. And they know what, and they want it now. They want things like personalized first pages. They want to be able to see and interact it from a voice experience. They want to have geo-interactions so that if I'm in New York versus if I'm in Tokyo, the things that I'm looking for are different based off of that information. A customer journey starts with search. That's something that we always talk about at Algolia, and a modern searching experience is the main way you deliver it now. With over 3.8 billion global internet users searching for anything and everything online, businesses must meet this challenge and take advantage of each moment of digital interaction, the now moments, as we like to call it. In these now moments, businesses provide engaging experiences that connect a user's intent with the best and most relevant content. But that's easy to say. We always can wish for the grass is greener on the other side, and you can always wish you're at the Bahamas. But building a great experience is hard. Now, how do we achieve that? For the end user, they want to be delighted in finding what they want quickly. For the business user, they want great insights and control versus relying on IT. That's if you're a marketer, that's if you're a merchandiser, somebody within a company who wants to be able to control the types of products that you send to your users. But you want to do it in a way that's intuitive and doesn't require a lot of engineering resource to make that change. And last but not least, as a developer, when you build these experiences, they want something that is both easy to implement and easy to maintain, while being able to have fine-tuned control to evolve and innovate. So, as I mentioned, how do you compete? How do you turn visitors into loyal and repeat customers? This is one way of doing it, rewarding your customers with great experiences. At Algolia, we believe that building rewarding customer experiences is the best way to attract and retain visitors and turn them into loyal customers. I'll get to the point on how this relates to Omnichannel in just a second. The main way to compete is to form an instant connection with your user, building a fast and intuitive immersive experience that connects your users on whatever platform they're on. I told you it's coming. Mobile, desktop, voice, or any other. You need to deliver this experience consistently across your channels so that your users are always getting the same brand experience. Given that nearly half of all site users go immediately to the search box, this data coming from a Forrester research, we believe that search is the best and most effective vector for creating these experiences and ultimately increasing user engagement, conversion rates, and revenue. As you can see in this example, you have a federated search experience. That is the ability to search across multiple types of content. It's fast, it's relevant, it represents your brand in a very intuitive and engaging and delightful way. In the example, they're searching across products, categories, editorial content, and if you can replicate this across the multiple different dimensions that you can sell through, this is a way that will improve conversion, engagement, and revenue. Enter Algolia. What I would like to say here first is that I don't represent the sales team. I work within our partner engineering efforts. So what I'm going to be next presenting on is about the innovation and our roadmap, less specifically on our features and functionality. If you'd like to learn more about that, please talk to my colleagues, Gabe and Mara. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, my job is to work with our customers every day in, day out to get an understanding about what are the different problems that they have and how are they looking to innovate and build the experience that sets them apart in the market. This slide is to demonstrate credibility and showcase the variety of different customer use cases that we look at and what insights are we gathering. You can see here that we span across e-commerce, media and gaming, technology and SaaS, financial services, public sector and education, and lastly, a miscellaneous category, but we call it services. The idea is that we're gaining insights from a variety of different customer bases. Within Magento, we work really well and have an extension that allows merchants to employ Algolia's search technology. But as well, we work in different vectors, and the way that they're innovating there is still powerful for your business. The customers that be most related to what you guys may be looking at is the e-commerce ones. That is customers of ours such as Staples, Lacoste, WW, which is formerly known as Weight Watchers, Birchbox, Under Armour, and Quicksilver. So what have we learned? We learned what consumers want. 50% of consumers are now more likely to purchase or become loyal to a brand if the content is personalized. If you remember from the earlier slide, the three things that I highlighted from a feature and functionality standpoint are personalization, voice search, and being multi-platform. 165% year over year use of smart speakers and voice assistants to make purchases is on the rise. So I talk about voice search. We see voice search as the next frontier in which users are going to be interacting with their storefronts. The ability to speak to a device and have something done instantly without needing to consciously type out the way that I'm engaging is a powerful way to deliver a consistent and more powerful user experience. Another metric that we've gathered is 94% of brands have budgeted for voice in 2019. It may sound like a broken record, but if you're not investing in voice, you're behind the times. So this is to sum it up together. You need to build an omni-channel search experience utilizing these three verticals. As I mentioned, using personalization to look at your users' actions on your site, what they're doing in your stores, and how do you take that information based off what they viewed, what they've purchased, what they've filtered on, and how do you make that impact your search results for future visits. In addition, providing them with voice search experiences. I'll use a couple of customer examples to put that into context. And then lastly, spreading that to multi-platform. Here's a few customer stories. These customers are under NDA, but I think that their experiences and the way that they're building is still, I can share, and it's going to be very valuable for you. So we worked with a large Japanese fashion retailer. You may be able to guess who it is, but they implemented a search experience across their desktop and mobile web experience. And a unique way that they did it is that they also added our search experience in their in-store kiosk, so that the kiosk allows them to provide a consistent user experience across devices in addition to track the history of what their users are doing in-store. Now, I just would like to get your creative juices rolling there. If I have a customer who's engaging with this storefront and they're looking throughout the store but they can't find it, and they see that there's a kiosk and be able to interact with it, if they go to your site and have great search and they discover that this kiosk is delivering a terrible experience, that doesn't represent your brand well. In addition, something as simple as adding a username if they already have an account with your company allows you to track what exactly they're doing, so that if they're looking at a scarf, for example, and they didn't end up buying it, but then you come back to the site and you can see that it's there, that's a powerful way to engage them again. Secondly, we've seen a large retailer in Canada, a large high-end retailer in Canada that is building a digital-focused in-store concierge experience. Let me explain what that means. What they have built for their store is a way for their customers to get personalized and very attentive experiences as you come in. However, what we're seeing is that people are going in stores less today, if that's correct. People are going more to the digital presence. So instead of being 80% in-store investment and 20% digital, they flipped the model and going 80% digital, 20% in-store. So they are revamping their main site, and you know what that looks like. But in addition, they still need to make sure that their prime way of selling to people is a great experience. Traditionally, people on the sales floor had to go run back and forth to the back room to check what products are in stock. Thank you. But that causes a friction for your customer. In addition, if they're switching out different things, they don't have the ability to be as attentive to their person, and you don't know what exactly the customer is looking at. You're not able to track that information. They built a tablet application using Algolia search, using voice search, to allow their salespeople to look up information on the fly based off what the customer is asking for. That information can be stored and also then personalize the digital experience that the customer may come back to later. This allows for their salespeople to be more efficient, it allows them to be more informed, and allows your business to have more information about your customer base. Cool. That was too fast. Sorry. Okay, we skipped a slide. I'm highlighting a lot about voice because I do think it's the next frontier. I keep mentioning it. One of our customers, Weight Watchers, or WW, built an application called Wello. I'm not going to go over their entire problem statement or their solution, but what we did is we have search implemented in both their website, their desktop, their mobile, and a wellness application for people to track what foods they're eating, what exercise they've done, and have a holistic experience. It was in October of 2018 that WW unveiled Wello, a voice application integrating with Google Home, coming to Amazon Alexa in this year in 2019. With the 55-year history, WW is disrupting the wellness industry by introducing modern technologies and building a digital approach that makes wellness accessible for everyone. This groundbreaking new experience encourages members to incorporate healthy habits like never before. Through hands-free interactions like food tracking and recipe search, members can weave their WW wellness journey into their everyday routines without lifting a finger. This launch represents years of innovation in the making, and they use this using Algolia search technology. Next up is for any of the sports fans in the room. This is my favorite example, and I'm really excited to talk about this customer journey. So USGA is the United States Golf Association, and for anybody here who plays golf, or if you don't, you want to get the least amount of points possible in the game, and that's when you have a better score. The idea there is that people can get pretty particular about the rules sometimes. If they don't know, if you hit a bird, for example, what does that mean? And you don't want to take off your glove, put your club away, go on your phone, search on the internet, may not get a relevant result, and what do you do then? You got to keep the game moving. So USGA built a rules app for people to look up this information using voice search. This is what the experience ended up looking like. Basically, you can utilize their voice-based application to speak to it and say, what if my ball hits a bird? As you can see in the example, it even had a typo in it and said burger. But being typo tolerant, Algolia can deliver you a way for you to still provide relevant results. That's the highlight that I really wanted to bring, is that extending out the features and functionality that your site provides and spreading this to different devices with the same consistent experience is the power of building an omni-channel search experience to delight your users. Here's another example. Next up is roadmap. So we talked about the now experiences before. We are becoming that platform to deliver now. We are today witnessing the rise of voice, with search moving outside of just the search bar. In prior years, we build the foundations to deliver a great search experience with package speed, optimization, standard relevance, but now we're looking beyond that. We're moving towards the second phase, where we leverage the data of our users. That is personalization, automatic learning, which is ML, but we provide the insights to how it's operating, white box, and recommendations. We continue to stay focused throughout these changes on fast, personalized search and discovery experiences across every platform. Coming in the years will be the year of search and conversational search. We already know how to handle those use cases of today, but it requires a lot of effort. The product we will release in the future will be open to such channel to all developers, as we did for full text search and speech. Let's look exactly at how an Algolia voice search experience works. So Algolia is not a speech-to-text provider. If you're familiar with that, what that means is companies like Google, Twilio, Amazon, like Alexa, they have a device that will process what you're saying and put it into text. But as we all know, using Siri and other devices like that, it doesn't always find what you want. That's because they don't have the power of Algolia to power the search relevance to understand what's going on. Essentially what we're doing is we're utilizing any type of speech-to-text that you want to implement in your site. You convert that into text, and then it passes over to Algolia, where we'll apply our NLP-based algorithm to break up what the word is saying. Let's look at the example of find me a turquoise duvet cover in cotton. We're going to be looking at the key indicating metrics there and removing a lot of the stop words, things that are irrelevant, which would be find me a, and keeping in mind that you're looking for a turquoise duvet cover in cotton. All of those are the key attributes that we can textually search over and also tie back to your business, use personalization, etc. Once we have that information, we'll return back a payload in JSON that gives you the result set. And then from there, you can display that out back to your user. If it's in a site, if it's back in a voice command, back to the user. And essentially, that's the process. It goes from device to Algolia, it gets processed, it sends it back to your device, and you display it how you like. Next up is some of the feature and functionality that's more holistic to Algolia. Once you receive these inputs from things such as voice apps or mobile devices, what can you do then to personalize the content? We have things such as query rules, which is our way of doing merchandising. In our product, you can take different inputs and segment off different audiences using query rules to then personalize content to those groupings. By taking those inputs, you can do auto-faceting, you can do basic promotion and demotion. You can even remove words from the query, or you can return back a custom field so that your front end would do whatever you like. If that's putting up a banner, if that's doing a URL redirect, or something perhaps in the mobile device, such as triggering an alert or doing a vibration. The power to create those experiences is in your hand. What I'm trying to do today is to express the different variety of choices that you have and putting back into your hands the power to deliver those delightful experiences, as we mentioned earlier, is what customers want today. Lastly, personalization and analytics. It's about also taking the inputs of what your users are doing, as we mentioned before, what they viewed, what they filtered on, what they've converted on, and how that impacts the relevance of your results. And once that's performing, you can look at the analytics of what you're searching on. What are the top queries that your users are searching for? What are the objects, so what are the products or articles or things of that nature that they are converting on and clicking on based off a specific query? And in addition, for most people here, probably the pain points that you experience most are when somebody searches for something and they get no results. How do you customize those pages to make sure they never get to those dead ends? Or how do you tune your relevance after to make sure that that experience doesn't occur? So, who's ready? The idea here is that you should be excited and invigorated to go back and build out these experiences. If you're interested in more in how we can make that possible, please come up to us after the show or ask me any questions right now. Thank you.